Yeah. Okay, it's really bright here. I guess you all know why I'm making this video. Let's see if we can sort that out. That's a bit better, isn't it? Yeah. Now, before I start, I'm expecting someone, so I don't know what's going to happen in that regard, but we'll find out. Yeah, I don't know what to say really. Honestly, I've been speechless all day. In terms of, obviously the reaction to the announcement. Just, you know what I mean? Like everyone's sort of personal messages of support and stuff like that. It's just a bit. Obviously, it means a great deal to me. I'm sure it does to all of us. Do you know what I mean? Individually. But yeah, I'm a bit speechless really. So I don't know how much I'm actually going to end up saying in this video. That's better. I can actually see now. But yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? What do you think? What can you say? I honestly don't know what there is to say other than, thank you all. And, thank Future Sound as well and Tim Burgess. Obviously Tim Burgess, got a lot to thank him for. It's just been a really emotional day, as you can imagine. It's a strange experience for me where I am now. And again, as I do, I'm just speaking for me really, but in terms of what I've been doing over the last sort of 3 or 4 days, especially what I've been doing, and now all this, I don't know, it's just, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And it's only at this point I actually feel able to talk about it, do you know what I mean, without getting overwhelmed. But honestly, from where my life was, sort of before the listening party announcement to where it is now, it's insane. And I have to credit you guys for that, all of you. I could start listing names, but I mean, obviously there's loads of names that stick out in my head, but I'm not going to start listing them because I'll forget some really important ones, and that's not right really. But you guys know who you are. Do you know what I mean? All of you. I want to name names. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to leave people out. But certainly, people like Nick, Dean, Lid Squidge, Louise, Robert. I'm not going to start doing that. Honestly, there's too many of you, all of you. But Diane, do you know what I mean? Nicola and Tim Musgrove. There's too many of you. Did I say Lynn and Liam? I don't forget you two. But like I said, I really feel uncomfortable naming names because I'll forget incredibly important people. Pete Fletcher. Thank you, Pete Fletcher. Like I said, there's too many here really, but you guys are the guys and girls that sort of interact on the content and stuff, and not only on the music content, but sort of my ideas and the stuff I've been doing. Obviously means so much to me. Yeah, there's too many of you, and it's a humbling experience. Like I say, you guys have given me the confidence to express myself. Do you know what I mean? And that, I suppose, I'm talking sort of slightly aside from the music here. I mean, I started writing properly over the last 3 or 4 days, and it's just been an absolute roller coaster because, excuse me, I've got some really good stuff coming, and I'm really excited about it. And I'd have never had the confidence to even attempt to try and do it without, sort of the support I've had from you guys, sort of on Twitter and YouTube, and it's kind of the only two really where I'm active. I keep trying Instagram and Facebook, but I don't understand them. I'm struggling with it. But anyway, yeah, you honestly, you know, right from the listening party response, and then from everyone taking part in the listening party, but not just that. You know, I'm talking about my own page, my own Twitter here, and how people have interacted with my own Twitter, and you know, it's just. I'm not going to say it again. You know, it means a great deal to me, and this is going to be brilliant. Isn't it? Do you know what I mean? This is going to be absolutely amazing. And let's talk about that little, you know, little video I was playing. Talk a little bit about that, because that how weird is this? You know, history one, when I was talking about us getting in a room and just starting playing the first time and just going, all right, we're done here then. Do you know what I mean? It worked first time, so here's us after what, 9 years is it technically, 2011, 10 years? Anyway, we'll say 10 years because it sounds better, but anyway. So here's us after 10 years, you know, a lot of us haven't even played this instrument for the bulk of those. So yeah, so we, and I'll expand on all this in the podcast, I guess, but yeah, I won't say too much because I'll make a separate video about this. But yeah, we, for whatever reasons, we agreed to go down to the practice room and just see what happened. And I don't think any of us really expected what happened, really, because it was just like it was the first time. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it was just like we'd never been away. I don't know if that comes across on, you know, I hope it does. I think from the comments, people certainly seem to, you know, say it sounds like you haven't been away. It's certainly how it feels. It feels, yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just like being with old friends again. Not just the lads, but the songs. Do you know what I mean? And the act of playing the songs, I don't know, because, you know, any musician will tell you, and especially any musician that tours properly, the relationship you go through with your own songs can become strained. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you're doing 200 shows a year, those sorts of touring where it's relentless, a lot of gigs. You know, I don't know, you get bored of them, you get jaded by the songs themselves, playing them. I suppose that's not entirely true, but there is an element of truth to that. You know, times when you're playing it for the millionth time, you're like, oh God. I suppose that's just being jaded, that's what it's about. But, you know, to start playing, I mean, what did we only play? Like, I think we were there 2 hours, and it was hot. My God, it was hot. It was so, I was literally dripping, in there, we're boiling. Really hot, but anyway, we persevered with that. Usually I'd have just come through, no, I'm not going in there. I'm not even coming out of the fridge, do you know what I mean? It's that hot, I don't do heat. So it was really hot. And well, yeah, I think we did like 6 songs, 6 songs. I recorded all of them on old trusty thing here. I recorded all of them. And they actually sound quite good, as you can hear. They don't sound too bad. But yeah, it was, well, again, it was like a drug. Seeing everyone playing the songs. I mean, how can something that should feel so alien not? Muscle memory, I suppose. 10 years, I suppose, when you talk about it, when you talk about 10 years, it sounds like a long time. I don't think it is in reality. Not really. Yeah. So, anyway, it didn't seem to have any relevance for us because we started playing and it just sounded right. It felt right. Now, yeah, I suppose that's the point, isn't it? There's a lot of, well, I suppose it don't matter. Right, as much as, don't know, there's a lot of people asking me what's going on. Do you know what I mean? What's going on right now is we've announced that show. Do you know what I mean? We've announced that Temple News and show. I mean, come on. You know, when this suggestion was mooted, whatever, instantly, well, because we have had offers for, you know, we have had tentative offers for shows in previous years. one at Millennium Square, actually. But as soon as I heard Temple Newsam, do you know what I mean? They're just like, well, how do we make this happen then? It couldn't be better, could it? Well, it's just perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Is what's happening in terms of being able to step back into those shoes. If it is stepping back into those shoes, if you know what I mean. Again, even if it's just stepping back into those shoes to relive, you know, that night, potentially. Like I said, I don't really know how much everyone's comfortable with me saying about what's going on or whatever, but I'm trying to find a way of saying that I don't think any of us really know what's going on, but I'm just a little bit worried that people get a bit too carried away maybe with what's happening. I don't want anyone to read into, that's why I've just said nothing, do you know what I mean? I don't want to say anything that people read into, but, you know, I think people are wondering about new music and stuff like that. We're not thinking about that. That's not really on it's not on our agenda. What's on our agenda is doing this show at Temple News in front of 10 or 15,000, I think it's 15,000. And what night that's going to be. If I can actually get on stage and play without, you know, I don't know how, it's difficult even talking about it really, but I don't know how I'm going to get on stage and not just you know what I mean, just absolutely crumble. Just under the weight of it. You know what I mean? Under the weight of being back there. You know, the conversations you have with yourself at times at lower times, you know what I mean? The conversations you have with yourself to comfort yourself through the loss of something, and then for it to force its way out of its own grave. It's a strange thing to witness, really. Not in a bad way. It's just overwhelming, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how long this video is, and I probably haven't said very much. We're just standing here staring at the space, but I'm tired. I didn't sleep well last night. And as I say, daily, I'm writing these songs, and I'm so excited about them. And like I say, I know that it's just me expressing myself, but I'm enjoying it, and it sounds really good. I'm loving how it sounds. I've never created like this. Honestly, I've never created like this, never. And I know how to create, but at the moment I'm just picking up instruments and writing songs in about 20 minutes. But anyway, I want 30 or 40 or 50 of them before I start thinking about, you know what I mean? And as I say, that is a kind of separate thing from the music, really. So where am I going with this? Where am I going with this without sounding really confusing? Honestly, I don't mean to. This is just a general chit chat now, a general catch up. So let's take the pressure off me in terms of what I'm talking about and stuff. It's just like I say, the reaction to the listening party and seeing how much love there was still for us and how much we meant to people. That was like one thing, and then everyone interacting on Twitter and stuff, that just kept going, because I did think, well, you know, if once the listening party's over, are people going to start watching the videos that I'm doing and stuff? Because I really enjoy making them for you. If I got a lot to say, and if there's people that want to listen, I'll talk to them until you all bore to death. I will. But you know, so seeing that reaction and the fact that people were still interested, and then, you know, putting the teaser out and having you know, ignoring everyone's questions about what's this mean and are you rehearsing and all this stuff, and you know, I've done my best to try and not dash hopes, but at the same time not let anyone get too carried away. Like I said, like I say, I don't want anyone to get too carried away. Basically, what I'm saying is, well, no one likes pressure, do they? And neither do we. And none of us have had it after 10 years doing what we've done. We've had no pressure. So we're walking back into this, and obviously, whatever we announce, it's not going to make everyone happy. It's not going to, and I guess we'll be sorry for that. Do you know what I mean? But it kind of gives a break. Do you know what I mean? And all this stuff, in terms of the support bands, I know a lot of you wanted skylights on there. Well, I'm not sat here choosing support bands. It's speak to Future Sound. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. They put the bill together. Everyone's happy with the bill, and skylights. Tell you one thing. They're a lovely set of lads. I really enjoy interacting with them on Twitter, and I think they've invited me down to their show in Leeds, which I'd love to go to. Do you know what I mean? They're really, really nice lads. But there's certainly a lot of overwhelming support that there should be on this bill. But as I said, don't look at me. Don't look at any other three either. I think that's another misconception about bands. I mean, don't get me wrong. You do get times where bands are like, look, I want them to support us. But usually, support slots and that, it's all political. Do you know what I mean? You have promoters, promotions companies and managers, and someone's putting on a gig and that manager knows that manager. Oh, I've got this band, can we get them all over? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about here, but like I said, it just seems certainly tagged with me in it. There seems to be a lot of people saying, why aren't Skylight supporting? And it's like, do you know what I mean? We don't know what to tell you. I'm not in control of that. I just want to enjoy this gig. I want to enjoy the process leading up to it. Because do you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have to sort of field out somewhere for afterwards, some sort of all-night party. Do you know what I mean? How are you gonna come down off that? That's the thing. It's all well and good playing Temple Newton with 15,000 people, but what happens when you walk off stage? Talk about, you know what I mean? Like, it's a serious point. As amazing as all this is, and as overwhelming as all this is, it's a reunion. It's reunion shows, whatever. So once that night's over, I know it's a long time away. There's a lot of build up to it and stuff, but who knows where we'll be. And I suppose as well, we've all got to consider, COVID and all this. It might dash everyone's dreams, including ours. But COVID will eventually, we assume COVID will eventually subside to the point where the public has confidence enough to come out. I mean, this show's outdoor, which should count for something, but you can't rule out something horrible happening with Corona and that scupper in it. But as I say, Corona will go, and we can move it. We can reschedule something. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter is that we've been talking again. We played again. It will happen in some way. Whether this happens how we plan it, which I think it will. I hope it will. Obviously, I hope it will. It's going to be amazing. Like a hometown gig like that. We never did anything like that. I mean, we did the 3 nights at TNC or 2 or whatever. TNC. It's always TNC to me. We did them, but we've never done like our own big gig like that. It's just mental. Like, from nothing to that. That's just going to be, like I say, it's going to be so overwhelming walking on stage. And I have realised something. I've realised there's probably going to be, certainly near 3,000 people screaming parsley at me. I've realised that's going to happen. Oh, and some loads of exciting stuff I want to tell you about, honestly, so much. But one thing I did want to talk about, I don't know if I can, I'm going to. Martin from the North. I've been talking to Martin from the North. I'd love to do some sort of shirt with him. You know what I mean? I'll tell you what though, I'm wearing my work Snickers. And my work boots, and I'll have my secateurs in my pocket, and probably a load of mud and leaves in the other one. I will. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do. Although, Well, who cares? Well, that's what I'm going to do. Even if I'm not gardening, then I'm going to be wearing my gardening Snickers. Do you know what I mean? Because that's been my spade in the ground for the last 7 years. 7 years. Do you know what I mean? It's kept me alive, that job. So I owe it. So it's gonna, so I'm gonna get on stage wearing my work Snickers, which have got loads of rips in them. Like I say, they'll be full of more soil than the actual skin of the earth. Well, my Snickers. But yeah, I've been talking to Martin, and I'd love to get some sort of shirt done. Do you know what I mean? Some sort of New of the North. We're coming up with a few designs. Wouldn't it be a cool idea to actually have that as a tour shirt as well? But there's obviously going to be a lot of options in terms of merchandise. How long is this video? 20 minutes. I'm not bored yet. I wonder if you are. Switch off if you are. Honestly, do you know what I mean? It's fine. There's not, there's very little anyone can do right now to knock me off my cloud. And like I say, even if COVID does scupper it, it still won't knock me off my cloud. It won't. I think I know. And that's the beauty of, well, I don't even know how to contextualise what's happened, certainly to me, over the last 3 months, 4 months. Don't know, my perception of time, completely gone. What am I stepping on now? More wires! Sorry, don't like wires. Pet hate of mine, wires, especially when they're dirty. You've got to pick them up and then you get dirt on your hand. It's even making me mad talking about it, so no wires. So I see. Right, anyway, I should stop this video now, but honestly, I'm not bothered if I'm waffling and all that sort of stuff, or I'm just buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. This house is nearly finished. Thank God. It's been a real drain on my mental resources and other resources as this place, but once it's done, it's done. And I can forget about it, move on. And like I say, what I'll be moving on to is writing songs every day and making podcasts every day, because I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving it. It might come a point where I get bored and think, no, I won't write today, but not at the moment. I absolutely love it. Look, as I say, I'm waffling now, aren't I? 20 minutes is enough. What else can I say? What have I said? Have I said out weird? I hope I haven't said out weird. Because I don't know, as much as a lot of you think that I don't edit these videos out of some sort of stylistic choice, I don't edit these videos because I don't know how to. I'm sure I could work it out. But like most things, I don't always have the patience to learn how to work something. Like Instagram. I don't have the patience to learn how to work that. Let's not start talking about Instagram. Yeah, thank you all so much for the reaction, the response. And one thing, I do read every single one of your messages. Every single one of your messages I read. And it was nuts today trying to keep up with it. Honestly, from like 10 a.m. It was, usually I can scroll through, read and like, and I get to the top and it refreshes. But it was show more. About 10 show mores. And I'm like, oh my God. And it just kept going and going and going. And, at first it was just sort of exciting. But then as I slowly started reading everyone's messages coming through, it just became massively poignant. Do you know what I mean? As happens with me, it comes out of nowhere. I'll just be reading something and then bang, something's like, and it's like, oh, right, okay. That's really touched me. And a lot, like I say, a lot of what you've all been saying has just been really touching. I don't know how this video comes across, but I really don't care either how it comes across. I think there's nothing else to say. I'm a bit, I'm a bit, as you'd expect, I'm a bit, light-headed, I guess. I'm a bit away with the fairies today. As I said, I didn't sleep great last night. But it's just like a dream, is this? You guys know, the majority of you, especially who've been here since the start, you guys know where I was and what I thought of the chances of us, reuniting as a band or whatever. How sort of painful all that sort of stuff was. To now, I don't know, it's like a huge weight. It's been lifted off me. Do you know what I mean? Emotionally and physically. It's just, I'll tell you what. It's exciting to wake up. It's really exciting to wake up again. And I particularly had that feeling since I'm 22, 23, maybe, when that died off. Because obviously when this all started and the circumstances in which it started in, sort of, especially for me, it was unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It was literally like you wake up every day and you'd be like, okay, it's not a dream. Oh, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Off we go. It was not a dream. Usually with that sort of amazing stuff, you wake up and you're like, there you go, there's reality slapping me around the face. But no, for years, it's been the early years, it was just like everything, you know, anytime the sun hit my face, it was just like, oh God, how fun is it to be alive? Then obviously that changed. But it's like it's back again in spades. It's nuts. It is nuts. It's humbling, it's it's rejuvenating, I suppose. Which, as I say, which is what you lot have done for me. You know, everyone. And I shouldn't have named names because I'll have missed out some really important people. But to those people, I do apologise for that. So anyway, I can stand here and stare out of this window at this view, which has always been beautiful, but I guess I'm noticing more now. Well, that's what stuff like this does to you, isn't it? Well, you know, in the wrong... Oh, God, I should have sat down. In the wrong headspace. You know, even incredible things don't seem it. And I guess that applies to what we did as a band. That's why I think I'd forgotten what it meant to me, all of us, to you. Although, as I say, I had no idea that we had this kind of lasting impression on anyone. So, yeah, I've done this long enough now. Well, I am technically waiting for someone, aren't I? Who hasn't turned up yet. That's alright, I don't matter. It's only about a corner. Yeah, what more is there to say? Other than stay tuned. But as I say, this is organic in the same way it was the first time around. So, you know, I don't want anyone to presume anything, or let's just enjoy it together. And like I say, I'm going to be out there. Do you know what I mean? You know, if anyone... No, I'm not even going to say that because one of you will. But yeah, I'll be out there as long as everyone plays nice. You know, we'll have to have some sort of Twitter meeting, do you know what I mean, of everyone that's been involved. Because as I say, I credit a lot of you guys for making this seem like a real possibility. And look where we are now. Right, come on, I've done it, I've said enough. I've already told you. I bet it comes back again. I bet it comes back again. Yeah, right. Sorry, this has been a bit wishy-washy rambling. I think I had big plans for this video. It was only ever going to be about a very relaxed chat about what's happened today. You know, seeing everyone's pictures and stories and seeing people talk, it's just amazing to watch. Not in like a weird voyeur way, obviously. Just people interacting is fascinating to me. And to sit there on my phone and see all these people from all over, you know, united by something and all talking to each other, you know, sounds to me like most of the hotels around Leeds are already booked out for around that date now. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's talking to each other and saying, oh, let's meet up here. It's just exciting, isn't it? It's just like people have been saying, oh God, it's like 2002 again. And that'll overwhelm me. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. And I hope the other lads are as excited as I am. Actually, I know they are. I know Stu was reporting on pacing up and down at work this morning before the announcement. And then the official Twitter was supposed to go at 10. Tim had set up like an automatic thing. And of course at 10 it didn't bloody go. So I think that went up late. But anyway, you know, no one ever goes totally to plan, does it? It don't matter. You all got the idea. And yeah, it was difficult, you know, putting the teasers out and not, and ignoring everyone's questions, because what can I say without giving the game away? Yeah, right. I'm going to end it now. This is ridiculous. Sorry. Yeah, let's talk more when more becomes clear. And, let's hope the period from now leading up to it is, do you know what I mean? It's going to be exciting. So yeah, I've got more little snippets from the studio. I didn't really talk much more about that. There's loads of stories about that. Yeah, podcast, and I'll make more videos. This is long enough. I'm sure I'll have bored you. Thank you. I'm off.